Somebody comes in with an injury, I need to decide, right, is this structural or is this functional? Is it hardware, is it software? Right. Because hardware is a different story. Like there's totally different management plans. If you, let's say, I don't know, twist your ankle on a trail run and you can see like it's pitch black blues and it swell up within seconds, that's what I extract from us. That takes a different assessment than somebody twists it hurts as much, but you kind of, walk it off and it's stiff after a rest, and which is pretty normal. So I tell people, it's like, look, that isn't, what's a normal reaction, what's a not normal reaction?
Yeah.
And so if I say, look, it's not structural, tell them, look, this is nothing structural, therefore it's not dangerous, meaning movement probably will make this better. So you just need to find the right amount of movement to expose yourself to. Yeah. And often you can see if the penny drops or it doesn't. If it doesn't, you go down a different route. It's like learning, right? Some people are visual learners, some people are more, they need to write summaries, etc. And it's the same with, in my clinic room, is you can tell when the message hit the target, right? And so, yeah, it's basically self-education. I mean, one of the other things is, and this is why I'm not just prescribing exercise. You know that I use my hands. I'm a manual therapist, and I think. But for me, this is a tool. Whatever you do, if it's a manipulation, if it's a mobilization, deep tissue work, if it's an exercise, a stretch, it's in my room. What I'm trying to achieve is to show people you can change it. Right? You come in with a pain, and ideally, actually let them do something. Let's say you have like a knee pain that can't crouch down. You put them into a couch stretch, for instance, for 2 minutes, retest, and you can see literally their eyes like, what just happened? And I tell them, listen, I haven't even touched you. It was all you, right? What does that mean? Yeah. And I let them reflect it, right? And so what that means, like, oh, that is better. So yeah, but like, why is it better? Because it's not. If this is a torn meniscus or a cartilage damage, that's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah.
And so then it's, okay, I can actually change. And that's the most empowering move. And from that moment, they know, okay, well, maybe I should actually move instead of rest, which unfortunately is still prescribed so much.
That's your, and it's almost coaching.
Yeah.
It's not physio.
No, it is.
That's one of the most unique things about you though, mate, I think, is that it's almost like, okay, go and do this in the room, and you have people that are envisaging a physio room. Nick's is probably a little bit different. I don't know if it's in your new one, but definitely in the old one, you built a squat rack. There's still there, all sorts of different toys in there. That it's almost like you're in a small gym. It's similar to the book, The Inner Game of Tennis, where you're actually just making people aware of what's going on in their body. And you said it, you're empowering people and you haven't actually touched them. You've just gone, okay, one thing that might fix this knee pain is the couch stretch. Yeah. Just be here and do it for a couple of minutes. And I imagine some people are like, hey, hang on a minute. I came in here for you to touch me and manipulate me, and you're having me do this. But a minute later, the pain's gone, which that in itself is a completely unique approach to physiotherapy.
Yeah, it is. But believe it or not, I lose patience over that.
Right? I can imagine, mate.
I lose, like, why are you not exactly? Why are you not touching? Well, because you're pain-free. You just did it. What do you want me to do? Like, we fixed it. You fixed yourself.
You fixed it.
And this is when there's a different level of perception. It's absolutely nuts, right? But you have people that don't come back, even though they're better, right? Because they haven't gotten what they came for, and that's the weird thing in our job, right? I mean, I had this patient a few weeks ago, like it's now a bit longer, but anyway, it's that stiff back, right? Had a, whatever beauticians don't want to go against any profession, doesn't matter, like usually get a crack, right? And the crack is that magic thing, which this is a mix of physiology and placebo and it's fine, and like I do that too, right? But so I try to make the patient understand that, look, what you have right now might not be exact same thing because I have certain red flags here, and so I don't know you. It's the first time. I prefer not to do this, but I have other ways how I can make you better. Is that okay? So yes. So I mobilize, right? It's like test, painful, restricted. You do a few things, more gentle things, mobilizations where you know you can control and there might not be an underlying condition you make worse. Because that's the important thing for us, so you don't do any harm.
Yeah.
Which is very difficult to do, by the way. That's what most people understand. It's really, if you try to hurt someone, it would be very, very difficult to do, like harm. But anyway, so you treat this patient, and then they get up, they bend over, no problem. no pain, full range of motion. It's like, good. So let's maybe book a follow-up, give you a few things you can do yourself. So, well, you're not going to crack me. So, what do you mean? So you're not going to, it's like, no. I mean, what? like, why do you want to crack? We just fixed your problem, right? It's like, I don't have to. But, they didn't get what they came for.
Yeah.
But they didn't come for getting pain-free. They came for getting that thing that has helped them in the past.
Mental.
And I try to tell them, it's like, well, the reason why you repeatedly end up in clinics is because of that, because you haven't really fixed it.
I remember when I used to play a lot of rugby, I wasn't that great at warming up.
Yeah.
And if I could crack my lower back and crack my neck, I was ready to play. Yeah. And the days that I couldn't crack it, psychologically, I wasn't ready to play, because it's exactly what you said. Like, when people come in, do you ever say to them, what do you expect from me today?
I do.
Do you?
More and more, yes. Not always, but sometimes, sometimes it's clear.
Right.
And sometimes I say, okay, so what do you expect from me today? What do you think you need from me today?
Yeah.
I should ask this probably more often, but in some cases crystal clear. But sometimes, you do an interview, you ask all the questions, and I ask a ton of questions because it saves me time to where I'm going to go and look for the problem.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like I'm not quite sure why they're here. That's when I definitely ask that question, because you don't want patients to leave disappointed.
Yeah, of course.
But if somebody leaves pain-free, their problem solved, and they leave disappointed, that's beyond me, right? But
if they wanted to come for their back crack, and you haven't done it, their measure of success is not pain anymore. Their measure of success is hearing their back go. And if you don't deliver it, then.
And I've done once in a while, like, okay, lay down, just give you a crack, that's fine. I can be a bit, but it's the same with, like, in your therapy, like, if you have a new client comes in, okay, I want to get jacked like you, want to look like you, want to be like you guys, and then you actually start with them where we need to work on your first core stability, basic kind of foundations, right?
Yeah.
They're also going to go like, oh, that was shit.
Yeah.
Right? Because I want to throw on barbells like I see on Instagram. It's like, but there's certain foundations. It's like, the metaphor I use is when you learn a language, you need to learn the grammar. You need to learn the vocabulary.
Yeah.
You just want to go and chat, but that's not how it works, unfortunately. Yeah. And I tell them, look, we do a bit, what I do then usually, I give them some of the grammar and vocabulary, and then we go to the fun stuff as well. So I throw in stuff which is cool, the cool shit, but which makes them feel like, okay, I'm working.
Yes.
But we still need to work those, and then we slowly kind of try to close the gap. So that's how I try to mitigate
Is the landscape changing, mate? Is it becoming more challenging? Like, did people used to walk in for some physiotherapy, have quite low expectations because pain is the main sort of measure? I've got a hamstring pain, or I can feel it and I've gone out. Is the landscape of people's expectations changing a lot?
I think it's always been of a mixed, it's like, Dubai is probably a bit of a special place, there's this service mentality here, right? There's no arguing about that. Yeah. You have people just like fix me, and I do that too, It's like, but I think people, movers, but like if they're runners or if they're, CrossFitters, gym goers, whatever your thing may be, they have this high intrinsic motivation to get better, and I think they're open to the idea of I put something in there. And I think, the whole, like Kelly started with his mobility watch, etc. He made mobility sexy, right? I'm thanking him forever.
We've got him here somewhere.
Sure, somewhere there.
A supple leopard. I don't know where he is.
No, the dude, he did us a huge favor, and I think he's got a good brain till today. I think I really admire his work. But what I love him for is that he made, before if you ask somebody to do mobility work, it's like, get out of here, I just want to get strong. Yeah. But he made it kind of, bit more attractive.
Yeah, he did.
And so in that sense, I think it does have change, but you still have the other ones as well. The hardest is people come in and they want you to fix them, and you actually want to almost prove them to look, if you actually do certain things yourself, you don't need me to fix it. Or you have those who say, shall I come in once a month? And for maintenance, I say, like, mate, maintenance is what you do. Yeah, I can
back
do
to
this.
the empowerment, isn't it?
Yeah. But they say, yeah, but this is look. I don't mind to do this. I can do this, but honestly, you circumstances. You just put my daughter through school, and that's fine by me. But I want to be transparent with this. It's but some people need this. To be fair, I don't want to mock this either. It's just.
I mean, it's a similar scenario. Like we've been running the gym for a number of years, mate, and. Sometimes I look at some clients that are coming, and I'll look at how often they're coming, and I feel I need to check in whether we're actually serving them in the way that they want to be served. Yeah. And I'll give a guy a call and I'll say, listen, obviously appreciate your support, your business, and like you said, putting my daughter through school or whatever it is. And are you happy? And they're like, yeah. I'm absolutely happy because. And this is the difference is because if I wasn't coming and doing 3 personal training sessions a week and accumulating that bill through the year, I'd be in a lot worse scenario. Mm-hmm. So if I want to come and do a physio maintenance session for whatever that means once a month, it keeps me accountable to you because they respect you as the physio, and they might. Maybe someone, a lot of the time, I've gone to see doctors and paid to see doctors to learn stuff. Yeah. Like every time I come into your room, I learn something. Yeah. And I go home and I make notes. Yeah. Whether it's how you've spoken to me as a patient or whether it's the movement you've done. Multiple times I've come into your room, mate, and I've made notes. And then when it's been the right time, I've deployed that with a client. So I'm happy to... I'm not happy for you to touch me too much, mate, but I'm happy I'm happy to get those professional skills as well. So it's interesting. What is something that's quite clinical is actually, I see you as a coach. Yeah. And I don't know, and I feel and I'm trying to make a loop of this because we're going more towards where I know that you're heading and the stuff that you're doing, but that seems where you're going as well, which is again, that's why you're hard to get into because no one else treats it like this. Yeah.